It's so kind of you all to come and see me. It's gotten rather lonely the last 5 months. I've been in seclusion, you see, but God told me it would be all right to have you come because you're all people of faith and bring no words of fear or discouragement. And besides, my seclusion is almost over. I hear that I'm getting a very special visitor very soon. Quiet. For 5 months, the only voice I've heard is my own. My husband, Zechariah, has been struck mute. Not that I've noticed that much difference. Zechariah never was much of a talker. It was hard for me to get the entire story from him, but he finally made it clear through signs. After all these years of praying for a child and finally giving up, God was going to answer our prayers. But Zechariah doubted. How could it possibly happen? We were both so old. And the angel Gabriel struck him mute, until the time of the baby's birth. But why? I think it was because God did not want Zechariah creating a house of doubt for the child. And that's why I have stayed here in seclusion for 5 months. I didn't need to hear the women whispering about how strange it was that I am pregnant after all this time, and how crazy I am to think that God has a special plan for our baby. And most of all, I don't need them whispering about the health of a baby being carried by someone so old. Every day they would have been asking, "So, Elizabeth, do you feel the baby moving yet?" And to see the knowing nods when I shake my head. No. Instead, I stay in the house. Every day I say to my husband, "Zechariah, tell me again the story of how the angel appeared to you." His sign language gets more expressive each time. I almost worry that he's going to sprain something. His gestures are getting so huge. And I read aloud the Psalms and the prophets, and I pray constantly to Jehovah for strength. And if Zechariah is in the room, he smiles at me and squeezes my hand in an amen. But it is so silent here. I weary of the sound of my own voice. And the silence I fear the most, the silence of the womb. I've yet to feel the child stir. Other mothers have told me in the past that it's sometimes not until the 6th month until the child stirs. I believe, Jehovah. Help my unbelief. I dare not share my fear with Zechariah. I couldn't bear it if his eyes sparked with anger at my unbelief. Or worse yet, that his eyes would echo and then double my unbelief. Oh, I just realized I told you I was having a special visitor today, but I never told you who. Mary is coming today, my precious, precious Mary. Oh, and it's not though. Oh, I'm not so happy because I love Mary, because I do. What a precious girl, the daughter I never had. But I hear that she is pregnant with the Messiah, and that's why the Lord is sending her to me. She doesn't need people pointing and whispering and poisoning her soul with their unbelief, especially in the beginning, with her faith barely more than a spark in the eye that could be so easily blown out. She needs voices of belief, not disbelief, and I need to strengthen my own faith by sharing it with her. Mary! Blessed are you among women, and blessed is the child you will bear. But why am I so favored that the mother of my Lord should come to me? As soon as the sound of your greeting reached my ears, the baby in my womb leaped for joy. Blessed is she who has believed that what the Lord has said to her will be accomplished. Leap for joy! The baby moved! The baby's not the only one jumping for joy. I knew my baby John was alive and that God would keep his promise. But oh, the glorious joy of having that promise come true. You'll have to excuse me. Mary and I have so much to talk about. But remember this, fellow men and women of faith. Be dream builders, not dream destroyers. Oh, woe that God would have to still your voice, or your friends have to avoid you to save their dreams. Share your victories, sing God's praise, and remember God's promises, and let the dreams in your fellow believers' hearts leap for joy.